or not they go with safe. Well, good thing we're starting now. Whether or not they go with Safeguard or not, they do get that loss history report. So I think that that's absolutely huge and a huge benefit to your client right off the rip to know if there was something wrong with that house. I'm not saying things haven't been disclosed, but it is just a nice double check because sometimes people purchased a house that they didn't know what happened prior. So you may be the only one running this loss history to see what happened. And then you're able to, take a look and double check on that. Robert, you all right? All right, beautiful. So these are just a couple of things they're going to want to know. The age of the roof, as we know, if you don't know, you can put unknown there. Blair was talking about the roofs and the roofing situation and the requirements. I'm going to bring her in to talk a little bit more about that, about what she's seeing with the carriers, because like they originally wanted to see more than like 10 plus years left on the lifespan. I'm not sure if that's loosened up a bit or what that looks like. So we will bring Blair in for a conversation. But what's super important is they want to know what kind of heating there is. If there's pets, what kind of pets are there? Because some breeds of dogs may not be included or they may need some additional coverage. They'd want to know, is the basement fully finished? Fully finished is what? With all the finishings, heated area, whatever. Is there a pool, hot tub, or trampoline on the property? And will this be your primary residence? So I just flat out answer all of this for them prior to, and then use that as my connector email. So that way Blair has all the information and she's ready to go. So over here, I do have, so there's Blair's contact information. There's half of her phone number. I guess I got distracted when I was writing that in there. So what I'll do is I'll give you Blair's, look at this. I gotta take my glasses off.
Do you want me to give it to you?
No, I have it, Chris, right here. So I have, her phone number is 908, enable editing, 303. It won't let me do anything. Yeah, it won't make me let me do anything.
Did you want me to give you the number to throw up on the whiteboard?
No, I will put it in this thing when I send it out. It is 908-303-0205. But Blair's email is on there as well, blair@safeguardha.com, and then safeguardha.com. So here, how do I invest? Here's how you invest. Here's the requirements. Now, you need 8 buyer sides in the last rolling 12 months. So we're not going to go by the calendar year. We're going to go by your last 12 months of production. So you need to have at least 8. And out of those 8, you need to have referred over at least 80 to 90% of them. I'm not saying they needed to capture them. I'm saying you had to send them over. Okay. For every 10 buyer sides that you have, you're offered 3 shares. So they got sold in packages of 3. So a little different than when we originally started this company and it started up, we were selling shares individually. Now it's bundled in 3s. So for every 10, you get 3, and the shares are $250 each. So for the 3, it'd be $750. Now we're auditing the list of investors every single year. So now that we have Jessica Cartagiano, who is our operations manager for KPG, she's going to be looking at capture reports and seeing who needs to be offered more shares and who needs to be maybe bought out of because they're not utilizing the services. Okay. I'm not using that as a threat to anybody that, we're hawking you every year. That's not it. But we need to know if somebody has 20 buyers and they sent 1 over, and that's been consistent for the past couple of years, we're going to want to get them out of our investor pool because they're diluting the funds that are coming to the people that are utilizing the services. Does that make sense? Okay. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to look at the last rolling 12, making sure that there was a referral over. I personally have had Safeguard, and my carrier is Travelers. Now, when I got my insurance policy, I didn't even think to get sewer line coverage. I was in town on central water, central sewer. I didn't even think it through until I had a problem. And then I called Blair. I said, oh my God, I need to replace my sewer line. She said, I already have a rider in your policy. You have coverage up to $10,000 on that. I wouldn't even have thought about that when I was getting the policy, but she already picked it up and had coverage, at least some point of coverage for me. So, use them as a resource. They are not in control of what the insurance companies are doing, but they can shop the rate. I'm not saying they're going to give you the best rate, but give them a try. At least they're going to go 15 carriers deep. So what's great about the investment with Safeguard is it compounds over time. So when people sign up for insurance, they don't necessarily shop for insurance every year. Once they get insurance, they're usually pretty stuck in there, right? It's not like you wake up one morning and say, hey, let me go call around. And it's like shopping for health insurance. Nobody wants to do that, right? So what happens is that even as you're bringing people in, even if we're having a light year, we still have that bulk of renewals that are coming through. So I could tell you that I invested in Safeguard when they first initially launched in the first round. The percentage on the return, it's over 900% return on my investment that I've made over the past 6-7 years. I don't know where you get that anywhere else. So for that initial, let's say, $1,500 I invested, it's produced over $20,000 worth of passive income. It's huge, right? So we want to be able to help grow these businesses out and be able to get some passive income off of them. So does that seem, is everybody in here using Safeguard or the golden email or the app? Barb, did you know they have an app now?
I heard about that at the meeting.
Okay, yeah, I heard about it at the meeting too. So I believe you could take them right to the safeguardha.com and then you could just start the quote with them. Yeah, I just pulled it up. I was playing around myself. So you could do home, and then just go through the whole thing with them or do the golden email and just send it over to Blair and she could get that started. Safeguardha.com. So like safeguardhomeandauto.com. If you do Google Safeguard, there's going to be a couple things that come up. Just make sure you put home and auto in there. Okay. Wait, hold on, Ro. Let's get you a microphone. I know, I'm sorry, but we're hybrid. Oh.
What they also do is if you're, after a year or so, if your quote goes up, they reshop for you.
That's amazing.
And I've done it twice so far
Okay.
because they have all of these other carriers.
Yeah.
So I'm able to finish the year out and then instead of it going again, renewing, they just shop for another policy that's less expensive
That's great.
with the same good coverage.
With the same coverage. That's awesome. Yeah, insurance is something like, to me, it's painful to shop. I can't stand it. But once I get it situated, when it's like when you need it, and then you realize you don't have the coverage that you needed previously. So I'm super glad Blair had my back on that. Not that it covered the whole thing, but at least it covered a portion of it. All right. So
Karen?
who here has, yes, Kristen?
I'm on the website and it's interesting. I didn't realize, but not only is it home and auto, they do bundle, condo, landlord, renters insurance, flood, umbrella policies for like our investors, office, jewelry, and vacation. Interesting.
Yes. Yes, they do an out of vault or land marine policy, they call it, for people that have jewelry that's expensive. You want to put some additional riders on, maybe you have some antiques, whatever. Yeah, they do everything. So, I mean, I'm not saying, with insurance, I believe that it's going to be a big thing and it's going to make a ton of difference. I mean, Kristen, do you mind if I speak on your just experience a bit in Florida? With your rates and how they increased over time?
Oh my God. In 1 year, $600.
A $600 increase. So, I mean, that's, in the state of Florida, but I know there's a lot of natural disasters and stuff that has happened.
Mhm.
I'm not going to say that insurance rates may go up for a lot of us because they need to recoup a lot of that money. So at least this is some place where you could just one-stop shop it, see what's going on, and then as an added incentive, you get offered up investment shares. Does that sound good? Do you guys use Safeguard? Does anybody have good experiences or negative? Because, we want to make sure that we're providing the correct service.
I actually flyer. Flyer,
Okay,
the sheet that were given, like one-page sheet.
yeah,
My buyer packet, I meet with them and I go through and I say, now you're gonna get an email from Blair. Definitely let her give you a quote because you get a claims report for that property. And
Yeah.
they go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then they get a quote from her. I said, you don't have to use her, but
yeah.
you're gonna get that claims report.
That
So,
loss history, I was just talking about that before. That's huge, and that's a huge benefit to the buyers prior to going to inspections, most certainly.
I can't tell.
Barb's hiding her sheet. She won't share it. Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Even if you want to email it just to the front desk. You know it, Barb. Nobody has a clue.
We always take like a little thing, what is your septic? Pictures so that they can understand what the septic is.
That's great. Yeah, see, those are two great resources that even if, Barb, if you want to email those over the front desk, I'll put them in I probably have them. I'd have to look
Yeah.
for them. But I'll email them out with the recap of the investor sheet too, just so everybody has everything in one spot. How does that sound? All right. And then that way you can get your people acclimated. This is my team. These are my team of vendors. I am a professional. I'm running a business. These are people that I refer and recommend to you. And as an incentive, you get additional opportunities. So Blair's at 908. We'll get you the number fully when we get there. You got her email. So KPSS is another investment that we have. So KPSS is 3 million in buyer volume in the last rolling 12 months. If you have not hit 3 million, but you have had 5 transactions, 5 buyer transactions plus that you've sent over, we'll have a conversation with you to see how we could get you involved in the investment. That is sold for every $1 million of buyer side only that you sent over, then you get offered 1 share. Okay, 1 share is $450. So like I tell people, like, yes, we're going to be opening up in the fall. Let's work from now until then to capitalize on how much and how many shares you could get. So let's say this year, maybe you did, 3 million and you're getting 3 shares. But you know that I normally sell 6 million in buyer. Well, maybe you might want to hold out until next year, until things pick up or whatever. So let's say you did purchase in at the 3. Since we're now doing the audits every year now, you will be offered an opportunity to purchase in an additional 3 if your volume goes back up to that 6. That makes sense? Okay. So you will be given the opportunity and the time. So if you're saying, yeah, it was a light year for me, I normally produce more, I'd rather hold tight and not worry about it, I'll do it next year. That's the scoop. So when we do open up in the fall, the first disbursement will be in January, the first quarter for you guys.
There's no rebuy if you're already shareholders?
There is rebuys. That's what we're talking about now. So there's going to be, what we're doing is we're looking to, like with the audit, who needs more shares and who needs less shares. So we have specific, we don't just have a countless, endless number of shares. So that needs to be the bare minimum requirements to get in per SEC. So once they review our files and everything, they need to make sure that someone is investing at least that at a bare minimum. Now, if you blow your business up, you start getting buyer's agents, you start growing a team out, you'll be offered additional opportunities that you could pass along to your people so that your you're providing value for your agents too. Make sense? Does anybody have any questions, comments, critiques?
Don't do an insignificant amount of rentals, is that something I can send over for renters insurance?
Yes, absolutely. Utilize that because that's most certainly something we could work on with you getting it on shares with that, okay? At least renters insurance, landlord insurance, you know. This is good for anybody at any time. They don't need to be your client. They need to be, you could be in your sphere. Just call here for get an estimate. I work with a great company. They work with 15 carriers just for no reason. Give them a call. You might be able to save some money. There's people saving a couple $1,000s a year just by switching over. Absolutely, go back. Absolutely. Yeah, this doesn't have to be on your specific buyer, sellers, whatever. It's just with the insurance portion, you could just go out there and sell insurance if you want. Just start getting people, not actually selling insurance, but you know what I'm legally, I think I just got in trouble. This is being recorded. But you know what I'm saying. You could go out there, you could promote that to all your friends, your family, whoever. It doesn't need to be a transaction in this office. And that's an additional way to help build up that business, increase the shares, increase the profit, whatever. So social media blast it all day long. Blast it out. Hey, new year, maybe try it first quarter. There's some shakeups in the insurance industry. Give Safeguard a call. There's some great slides from the last meeting I could share with you about savings that people have had. And I'm not saying that, I'm not guaranteeing that they're going to get anything, but the savings that people have had have been significant. Since they bought the house. And that's normally what happens because nobody gets up and says, I want to go shop for insurance right now. Like I said, it's like when that health insurance comes rolling around, I just want to throw my phone in the street because I don't want to deal with that. So this is another one of those. No, that's all right. I'm going to just push it towards you. Yeah, they don't want to change because they were afraid to get dropped, right?
Because of all the disasters other states have had. People, I think, generally are afraid to shop because, you know, oh, they're gonna send a drone over my house to check on my roof and, you know,
They're going to do it anyway.
yeah.
And
so-
that's the
and
kicker.
people just want to kind of lay low, you know, don't want to mess up a good thing.
Well, I could understand that, but there, you know, catches up with you over time. And then another thing that you have to keep in mind. It's on the side. Another thing you have to keep in mind is, you know, if someone has a mortgage, they absolutely have to have homeowners insurance. And if their mortgage does get sold or transferred over, you do want to make sure that your mortgage company has your new rider and your new policy, or the mortgage company is going to provide you with their own insurance. And I'm going to tell you, it has happened to me. There was a blip in paperwork. They want to charge me like $5,000 for the year for insurance coverage. I'm like, no, you just didn't get the copy of my new rider. Like, I'm good. So don't ever let it lapse. Most certainly promote it. It is just an ancillary company that we have. It could be utilized for anyone out there in the world. Go use it as a touch to save some people money. No, I believe they're licensed in a bunch of states. So you could go on the site and take a peek. Yeah.
Hey, Karen.
Yeah. Yes. Rick. Yes, Rick.
Hey, Blair is the single point of contact, right? It's not like you're calling a service.
No,
Am I saying that
Blair's the
right?
point of contact, and
Okay.
we have her phone number, half of her phone number, her email, and the website. But Blair she is a whole team. She's super responsive. She's very nice. If you're having any issues, please let me know and we'll make sure we get ahead of it, right? Don't just say, oh, I didn't get a call back, I'm not going to use this company anymore. That's ridiculous.
Right.
You're literally shooting yourself in the foot.
Definitely send an email.
Very good.
The-
Thank you.
You got it, Rick. Yeah, we got the golden email that I'm going to give you guys a copy of. And then also now we know about their website/app that they have, which I didn't know anything about. Like Barb, I found out at the last team meeting, right? She just casually dropped that and was like, oh, you could do it on the app. Or it was a shareholder meeting. Where was it? A shareholder meeting. Yeah, I was like, I don't want to say I don't know there's an app because I'm the team leader, but I don't know there's an app. Like, this is great. So, okay, we could rip on over to KPSS. We did that where we know every 1 million equals 1 share, $450 a share. Do we want to speak on the return on investment on KPSS? Yes, we do. So the return on investment for KPSS, I could tell you guys, I purchased in a KPSS, it has to be 10 years ago at this point. When I bought in, I have 7 shares. And I could tell you, I recouped my initial investment after the first 2 checks I got. So after 6 months, I recouped my initial investment, and the rest for 9.5 years has been just absolutely profit.
And how long does that continue? Just say you leave.
Well, if I leave Keller Williams, that goes away. We buy them back for you. The only thing that you keep when you leave here is going to be your profit share. If you're not actively using these services, we can't give you profit to share on them. We need to keep those shares available for people that are in business. So let's say you went to referral status, we would buy these back from you, and then you would just keep your profit share. Now, there's certain things that would still apply, and that would be the next 2 things that I'm going to talk to you about, where there's no initial investment, but we have the MV Insurance Services now that we've partnered up with. That's a life insurance company. So for the life insurance, and I'm telling us all this stuff because I know we're not utilizing all this. Because if we were, nobody would have an office bill, nobody would have a nothing, because this would pay for all of it. MV Insurance Services, while you're talking to your client, you're trying to protect their asset with homeowners insurance. Are you going to try and protect their financials with life insurance if something happens to them? It's a conversation. What's that? It doesn't usually come up, but it really should be part of our conversation with, why don't you, now that you've purchased and invested in the largest asset, it's a very large asset. Do you have someone that you're talking to regarding wealth management, financial planning, life insurance, that you could make sure that your heirs are protected down the line with this asset? Listen, just hop on a call with this person, Chris. It's $200 for every single appointment he has with these people. They don't even need to sign up. You get the $200 as long as there's a consultation. Yes, I'll reach out and get a flyer. Yeah, do you want to talk on your experience, Ro?
It was a fun. We scheduled an appointment. We chatted for a very long time about my business, my future intentions, pretty much everything, finances, whether I had life insurance or not. And at the end, they basically said, given my young age,
Spry, you're spry, Ro.
they said that I'm doing everything right, and they did not even suggest life insurance for me because I have other things set up.
Well, did you get $200?
And I got my $200.
And so they were honest, they were open, they
Very
weren't
much.
trying to sell you something, they were
weren't-
trying to help you. I like
That's
this guy.
right.
I met him too, and that's why I feel comfortable saying, like, if you're going to be a fiduciary, I know already you guys are cringing and saying, oh, I feel like I'm just selling them a bunch of stuff, right? I'm just selling them a bunch of stuff. I'm selling them. I got to send them the insurance. Now I got to talk about life insurance. Now I got to do all this. I'm just trying to get to closing. If you're the fiduciary, somebody is a first-time home buyer, you don't think that they need to know about this? If you don't, you're crazy.
You're like, okay, sign this, and now we're doing. You're talking like a person, it's they bring value, not deal with the user.
Yeah, like you're bringing value. This is valuable information, and it as a byproduct helps you out too. So $200. Now that you could get anybody in your life signed up for Chris to go have a conversation. $200.
So where does that money go?
You get a check.
Well, no, I know.
For the home warranty,
Mhm.
right, that goes towards your agent bill.
I'm getting there too. Yeah, this you get a check in the mail. Yeah. No, you get a straight check in the mail. That's your money, cash money. So you send over 10 people, I mean, you're getting $2,000. That's nothing to scoff at, especially when you have databases that are as robust as I know some of you are. Like you have 300, 400 people in a database, you get 10%, that's 40 people going, and that you're 40 people that you're there to help protect their financial investment, and you're getting, that's a touch. This is the long-term touch. You're going in here, I'm your realtor for life. Have you talked to, I trust this guy, here's someone to discuss this insurance with, and it's, a couple bucks in your pocket. And you're just reconnecting with these people. Robert, do you have anything to say on this?
This one?
And anyone?
GPS.
With KPSS and the returns? It was within the first year, I'm sure, the first check, yeah.
Very busy. They were doing great. They shared the profits,
Yeah,
made my investment back to me.
it's gravy. It's free money, right? I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's crazy. So, I mean, with Safeguard pays out 2 times a year. KPSS pays out quarterly. There has never been a time where I haven't received a check. Even when Safeguard originally launched, they were giving us dividends. They were small in the beginning, but now I think they're getting more in line with the returns we're getting with KPSS, which is huge because, like I said, that insurance compounds over time because people don't shop it. And it's insurance. Robin.
So. Would we, the other with the block building?
Yeah.
When you're going to send somebody over to Chris, are you disclosing the fact that you're getting a $200 referral from this person?
Well,
It's like, oh, you're kind of hiding.
it's on our sheet. I mean, that should be on our sheet, our disclosure sheet. So yeah, you might want to check with our broker compliance team. I mean, verify everything I say with the broker compliance team on how to actually do it, because you might need a little thing at the bottom to say, I'm a realtor, may get financial compensation, something like that at the bottom.
I mean, it's just a disclosure. I mean, if we really wanted to, we could attach that disclosure, like, hey, I'm affiliated.
You're right. But I mean, for people that aren't utilizing us to purchase and they're just going for them now out there on social or whatever, you might want a little disclaimer. I'm not sure. Check with our guys, our B&Ds, the D&Bs. All right. So MV Insurance Services. Did everybody here know about that? No. How about that? You'll learn
Yeah, I didn't know
something.
about these guys either, so it's
How
good to
about
know.
that?
This year.
They were bold this year. Yeah, there was right around that time, I would say August, September, like right before bold in October. We need a 1-pager on the MV so you could put it in your packet, right? I know, I got you. I'll get one from that, Chris. But it's absolutely, it's a beautiful service. We can't offer shares because we don't own that company. We're just partnered up with them, and he's a good dude, so he's kicking back. Nope, that's not the right word. Stop the recording. Stop the recording. He is providing the extra benefit of the $200 for the referrals. Thank you. On the sheet, we can put the disclaimer. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. I'll ask Chris, I'll give him a call and see if he could get us something over that we could share on social, and then maybe just have a little something at the bottom. That would,
Um,
you can for this insurance affiliate. Yeah, you can from him, and America's Preferred, that's at the bottom here. That's $75 per warranty towards your office bill.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it's a. People that have used it,
Yeah.
um,
Kristen, tell us about Kristen hasn't paid an office bill in how many years?
I pay office bills, but it's, you know, I get lots of nice deals, so that's good through the home warranty.
I paid $50, but
Yeah, no, now it's $75 towards your office bill. I mean, so you could ultimately just use it as a benefit to your client, especially if we're coming into a season where we're seeing homes that are a little bit more run down than normal. Your foreclosures, sell them a home warranty. I mean, that was my baby, the foreclosures. I would sell people a home warranty all the time. Yes, the heating system's great. Yes, everything works right now. We don't know if after you start using this full time, if that's going to break down. Do you know, honest to God, it was right over off of 5th Street. One of my clients bought a foreclosure off of a beautiful neighborhood, you know, over off of behind the Remax over there, you know, where Christopher Street there. They bought a foreclosure. Literally the whole HVAC broke within 6 months. And I sold him the warranty. And he said, Karen, honest, I didn't talk to him. I was at a communicado with him for a bit. And he called me and he goes, Karen, you saved us 20 grand just by buying that $600 home warranty. He's like, I couldn't believe it. He goes, they came in and they've been like stellar. America's Preferred is actually like a Keller Williams big company affiliate. So, you know, they're vetted and they're great.
It's great to offer if you have an estate and you have an executor who knows nothing to be
And
able
then-
to
yep.
include that. And then, you know, anytime you have a seller, you know, maybe they don't live there, it's a vacation home, and they're able to actually cover themselves during the listing period. They don't pay $1 until closing, even if there's a claim.
Yeah. Does everybody know how to do the process with the home warranties and stuff?
yeah, it's easy.
Well, I know, Robin, but does everybody else know that? Well, I was going to have Kristen walk us through the process because she does them all the time.
Well, they have a website. So the first thing to do would be to connect with Matt, you know, and Matt is fantastic because he will give you a bunch of paperwork. So even if you are not really comfortable talking about the home warranty, you can let your clients know, buyers and sellers, like when you do your listing and buyer presentation, you can put the paperwork that he gives you in there. You know, he'll send you stuff. He'll also send you e-brochures so that you can forward those e-brochures so you can do the application process either manually or in the website. And there's a little portal that you go in. And then once you close, you go in and you just update some basic information, and then you get your money, which is great.
You get your credit towards your bill.
Yeah. It goes directly to the office and then gets credited that way.
It goes directly to the office. It goes to Colleen. She sees it and it's noted who it goes to, and then that gets credited to your bill. But like they said, like Robin said, it does take a little bit. It's not like that month it's going to hit. It might be within that 60 to 90 days that would hit. It's
Yeah,
not
it's usually
a
60.
it's usually 60. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Hello?
Rafaelina.
I
Yes,
also
Rafaelina.
tell the client that they can use whoever they want to fix the problem when the time comes. And they have 30 days to upgrade their insurance, the warranty,
Yes.
to cover the roof, to cover bigger things. They have 30 days to upgrade it. And it's not that much more. It's like $300 more.
30 days from closing to do the upgrade.
Yes.
There you go.
Mhm.
What's all the additional coverage and stuff like that, but it's not about, I mean, you don't have to be a salesperson, but a home warranty, I think it's just a no-brainer. I mean, if you're selling even new construction, when I was in new builds, I mean, they came with a 10-year warranty on the house and then each manufacturer warranty for whatever was in there. To buy a used home, and I'll call it that, it's something that's been used and in some cases abused, you know, like really heavily utilized. Yeah, things look great at an inspection, but when I get in there, who knows what's going to happen? I would so much rather pay a $50 service fee and see what the scoop is than be stuck with having to replace my sewer line, replace my hot water heater twice, or replace the HVAC system, because your clients are tapped out at that point. Like once they bought that house, they bought that furniture, they started painting, they're buying hardwoods, they're maxing out credit cards. Oh, look at this stainless steel. I want the front loaders. They don't have any money in 6 months. They realize how expensive draperies are and blinds, and now they're tapped out and they don't have 20 grand to pay for an HVAC. So now what are they doing? They're pulling a personal loan at a high interest rate. Where here they could have literally bought in for what? How much is it now? I don't know how much it.
I'll tell you. hold on.
$800. Barb said it. A good plan. A good plan.
And
And then there's the-
honestly, you don't even need the full plan because a lot of the houses don't even have some of the things that it comes with. You may even be able to do just fine with the basic and then add a couple things like they have, some roof coverage. You can do 1 to 2 years on roof coverage for repair, not replacement. But then there's things like, septic pumps and water, well systems. I mean, we have wells and septics here. So, rather than spending the extra money for a policy or a protection plan that there's things in there that we don't need, to kind of, a la carte, it makes sense,
Yeah, to a la carte and piecemeal, it makes sense. But Matt Phelan, I'll put his contact info on there too. He's our guy for America's Preferred. You see him all the time. He always drops stuff off. He'll pop in on team meetings once in a while. He has those Zoom meetings too with us, right? He's on our
Yes.
training calendar.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, he's a great resource, and I really do. There's a bunch of home warranty products out there. I've used a couple of the other ones, and I really, really solidly could stand behind these guys personally. Kristen, I know you can too.
Yes.
Yeah, Barb, I'm sure you can. Yeah.
Just another word about them. I mean, another great tool for negotiation during a home inspection. If you have
Right.
something where you have a house that they say, oh, the hot water heater is past its useful life or something's past its useful life, a lot of times I'll negotiate a home warranty because, all right, the hot water heater may be older, but it's not leaking. It's hot. Everything's moving
Right.
along just because it's old. If you want to give the buyer a little assurance rather than spending the $1,000+ to have a hot water heater replacement, give them a home warranty. It covers not only that, but everything else.
It could be the difference in saving a deal based off of inspections when you have, like Kristen said, maybe you have a seller that's stuck and is telling you, who knows why they can't do it. They can't do the repair because maybe they don't have the money. Maybe they're just straight a-holes and they don't want to do it, or they're being combative in some kind of way over it. But the $500-600, even just for the basic, is enough to maybe quell a buyer and say, you know what, hey, the seller is willing to provide this warranty. They can't afford to fix these things, but we understand that some of this might be at the end of its useful life. So to cover you moving forward, they'll give you the home warranty. I mean, that might make someone feel better and more inclined to move forward with the transaction. So use it as a negotiation tool too. Even if you're on the seller side, both ways, And honestly, I mean, I'm telling you, in a different market, that's all that it was. How many times did you see listings, home warranty included, because the sellers were giving everything away just to sell their houses.
Yeah.
They were sitting on the market for a year and they're doing whatever they can to get rid of it. So, I mean, I wouldn't even say that that's not a good idea to just include it.
Right.
Or to at
Especially if
least
you
cover
have
your
somebody.
seller.
Yeah, I mean, if you have somebody who's selling an estate or something that they've never lived in, or, it's an investment that they've never, that they don't know much about, it's a nice tool. It's invaluable.
It is. It really is. I mean, you think, oh, it's just another thing to spend money on. It's just another layer of protection. I mean, you're protecting people on their title insurance. You're making sure that there is going to be no claims or judgments against that property filed from the day that you bought it retroactively. It's covering you everything that happened prior to you buying that house. Why wouldn't you want to have something covered from the day you start on? Yes, there's homeowners insurance, but we all know we're not going to make claims for a lot of this stuff. You're not, because you have a $5,000 deductible or a couple $1,000 deductible. It's just easier to pay for it and go. But maybe somebody doesn't have a couple $1,000s to pay for that hot water heater. Well, I'm sure they have $60 to pay for the service fee. Either
Right.
they're going to repair or replace it. You know, I just think that that's a no-brainer at this point.
And
Does
also
everybody
be
else
sure to
feel-
tell your client to tell the insurance company that they have a warranty on it, because you do get all the other credits that they give for security systems and gated communities. They will also give a credit if there's a home warranty on the property.
How about that? Drop that nugget right there at the end. Maybe potential discounts coming ahead, insurance. So it's all things insurance today, evidently. We're talking about investments, but it turns into insurance. But do you guys see how this could all be beneficial and all tie together with some additional streams of income to help you first maybe get your foot into investing where you don't need to necessarily drop $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Your risk is really light here. The initial investment is something that you'll recoup within the first, it's not guaranteeing anything, disclaimer asterisk, but usually within the first 6 months or 2 disbursements, you're getting that money back. So, you know, I'd like to, if you guys aren't utilizing this, I'd like to work with as many people as I possibly can to get a plan in place. So when we open up in the fall, people are able to purchase in, because I'm telling you, this is something that it's like, you almost forget about it. And then you get a call and you're like, oh, I have to go to the investor meeting. Great. We get a check, you know, and then it's an extra a couple $1,000s that you're throwing in your account. I don't know who doesn't want that. So, you know, we also have the passive income opportunities with our in-house profit sharing. And that's with recruiting and people that, you know, put you as their sponsor. We could most certainly talk about that and have a, you know, conversation around that. That is a benefit. That isn't, because it doesn't come out of your pocket, it comes out of the owner's pocket. So they take over, you know, it's like 45% of their profits every month and then disperse them amongst whoever brought people in for profit share. What I like to, there's a whole ton of math involved. Me, just to make it simple, I like to say for every capping agent that you bring in your downline, it should be about $2,500 a year. That's worth in your pocket based on our profitability over the past like couple years. That could go up, that could go down, but we seem to jive right around that mark. That just comes in your account at the 21st of every month automatically on profit share day. And that is a willable asset once you're vested. And I believe it's 3 years. So every month, the 21st of every month, you just get, it's profit share day. You just get a deposit in your account. And that's nice. So there's people that actually have made an entire business out of just the profit share system at KW. There's people that make over $1 million a year in just the profit share system. Now that's agents that aren't in production. They literally are just recruiters. Then they're recruiting across the globe for agents to come in. I'm not saying we're paying out millions of dollars here, but some of the profit share that we pay out is pretty substantial once you compound it over time. I mean, I don't know anybody that would like an extra 50 grand a year. You know?
So they don't have to work in the office.
They don't need to work here. No. They could be in Alaska. They could be, once you start going out of the country, it's not called profit share. It's called something else, growth share or something. You could refer people across the globe and still get that benefit on the 21st of every month. Now, keep in mind, though, it is related to the profitability of the market center you're referring to. So let's say you refer to some place in Alaska, and Alaska is just maybe getting off its feet and is not necessarily a ton of profit. You don't go by that $2,500, $3,000 metric, but that person will absolutely be in your downline forever, and that's a willable asset. So
And then people pay for it.
it just compounds. It goes 7 layers deep. So, I mean, for me personally, I only have 3 people or 4 people in my first downline, but one of them happens to be Cassie. So guess what happened there? Then now it's just exploded, you know, second, third layer, and it's not things that I'm actively doing. I'm here to help grow your downlines. I'm not looking to put people in mine. If you guys don't want to, great, I'll take the money. I'm not going to scoff at it, but it's just some, you know, as an incentive to help grow the business and help grow and to surround us with like-minded people. That's the benefit back. So that's our profit share system. It's not a multi-level marketing scheme. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not any of the schemes that people out there want to say that it is, that are from other companies. It originated when Gary lost all of his top producers. You know, you guys all know this. Well, most of you do. Gary lost all of his top producers, left his office, and he came to them and said, listen, what could we do here? And what is it? And let's craft the business and let's do this together. What do you want to see? And it was the first ALC that implemented the profit share system. So that's where it came from. So that's the scoop. So does anybody have any questions? I know we kind of ripped through this a bit. I promised I wouldn't take you to 12. Yes, Dominic.
Like average?
Yeah.
Okay, for the year. Right?
For annual. Yeah. Just figure, like, if you use that in your mind, like, obviously, if we have 0 profit, we're rolling with nothing, there's going to be nothing. But the based off of our metrics and how profitable we are, just on average, I like to figure about that 2,500 annually. So you brought in, you know, bringing 10 people in your first line and that thing starts growing out, you know, that could be a nice chunk of money.
It's also selling, because if you're talking to people, what are you asking them? Hey, are you looking to buy, sell, or did you ever think about getting into real estate?
Right.
It's, for me, it's part of the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, and we have a phenomenal program. Is everybody aware of K-Score? I know you guys are. Everybody here knows about K-Score? Yeah, so, you know, with our school and our stuff, it's like we're a one-stop shop for all things. It's just a lot. So you got to kind of streamline your process, kind of like Barb did with your pamphlets, with your brochures for your presentations, and make sure you're hitting these things multiple times. Like your initial consultation, you may introduce, here's Safeguard, here's KPSS, here's my stuff, MV Insurance Services. And then now when they go under contract, I'm bringing it up again. Well, let me make sure I get you in touch with Blair. I'm going to provide her all the information regarding the house. I'm going to send this golden email. They're all part of my team. I crafted a world-class team of professionals to help you. And then we're all going to come in and help you get this property and make sure you're secure. I mean, I don't know what more you could do than that, except move them in. Right? And I'm not doing that. I can't say I haven't, but I'm not interested in it anymore. Are there any additional questions, or did anyone find this beneficial, or did anybody have any comments or concerns? Was it helpful? Was it like just more of clarity on what the requirements are and what you need to do?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not saying that these are hard and fast, right? So like with KPSS, like I said, 3 million in buyer volume in the last 12 months. I know not everybody might hit that, but if you're close, or let's say you do have, let's say you had 5 or 6 buyers and you had 100% referral rate or something, like we're going to run these reports annually. We're going to be auditing them. We will come to you and have a conversation and say, all right, here's what we could do now, or here's what we could do in the future if you could do X, Y, and Z. Does that make sense?
Does Safeguard say 8 buyer side? Okay.
Safeguard says 8 buyer sides referred over in the last rolling 12. But I mean, we like to see an 80 to 90% referral rate. So again, if you only referred over 6, but that was your full 6, that's what you had, we'll have a conversation, you know? So it's a benefit we want you guys to capitalize on, because I know that some people are having financial challenges in the world. And I just want to make sure this is top of mind for everybody, because I think we're leaving some money on the table if we could all agree. Like, we want you guys to get paid like 5 times on a transaction.
And if you have a good relationship with the co-broke agent, you can offer this to her or him for their clients.
Absolutely. Beautiful. I mean, a lot of these things, like even the home warranty, I mean, you could be out there promoting that for your clients now. Like if they purchased last year, you could put a little smart plan touch together. Hey, you purchased a year ago. Congratulations on your anniversary. Did you think about maybe you might want to protect some systems with a home warranty? And now coming from you, you are the realtor for life. Let's start providing them information and acting like it. You can't just be that name because I'm sending you a newsletter and I'm posting shit on Facebook. You have to get in communication and provide them with something of value. So to me, doing a quick smart plan that's with people's anniversary dates and I'm just hitting them with this stuff, that makes total sense to me. Did I do it when I was in production? No. I'm not going to even lie to you. It makes sense to me now. That's why I'm very passionate about it. All right. Don't leave the money on the table that I did. All right, Zoomers, we're going to log off unless you guys have any questions. If you do, you have about 3 seconds to get off mute.
I
All
have
good,
a quick
no?
question.
Have a great day, guys. I'll send out a recap with the little sheets for you. Okay.
Great, Karen, I have a quick question.
Yes.
With the profit share, if you bring somebody in and they leave after, say, 3 years or 5 years, do you still continue to get that, or is that taken away then?
If you leave or if that agent leaves.
If that agent leaves.
Well, you're profit sharing off of their production. So if they're not here, then you don't get anything.
Okay, so it's based on their production. Okay. I wasn't sure
Yeah,
if it was
'cause-
based on their home office or if it was based on theirs themselves.
Now, it's based off of them themselves. And what we say is it's off of a capping agent. And I could give you that analytic because the capper, as we know, brings in $21,000 to the market center. That's not all that comes here. Half of that goes away. That goes to, other places. So ultimately you're looking at us sharing back about 45% of our profit on that capper, which is going to be about that $2,500, $3,000. So that's what when they're off cap and they're bringing in money is when you're getting the profit share. When they're capped and they're not bringing in money, there's no profit share. Obviously, because they're not bringing in profit. So you may see like you're getting a ton of profit share at the beginning of the year or maybe at the end of the year. And that's when people's caps are resetting, right? And then you're getting that income. And then if you have the Galligans, they're going to cap in 2 weeks. You're going to get one check and that's going to be it, right? For that 21st. So you're going to just watch, but I like to just use that little metric, like 2,500 to 3,000, just figure across the year for each capper that you have.
Gotcha.
That's working.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
All right. You got it. All right, guys, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy March. Happy March. Happy March. You're very welcome.